You think you know what's best for me? Hmm? You think you know what I need? How are you any different than those bricks in there?
No, that ain't what I'm saying, Sofia.
Very, very convenient that all of a sudden you're on my side. Will you look at that? Right? My little helper?
All right.
Fucking desperate. You are scrambling for whatever dignity you have left, and you're hoping I will save you. Not gonna happen.
What I love about that fourth episode is that you get to see how she was driven mad. She like has become the thing that she was accused of being by way of what they did to her. And so in a way, like her madness is justified and she sort of steps into this thing. I mean, I think that's what was so thrilling about it, where a lot of her journey is like, okay, you think I'm this? I'm gonna ratchet that up to an 11 out of 10. You know, I'll show you. You look what you've made me do. Like, do you know what I mean? And I really love that. And I really, you know, empathize with her enormously and just loved playing her. And I love that there is a lot of mystery around her, but then the more you get to know her and the more you see what she's been through, you know, you get a full picture, whether or not you agree with her choices. First of all, I have to give enormous credit to our showrunner, Lauren, and the director of that episode, Helen Shaver, who the two of them are such absolute forces of nature. And Helen really sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Helen cultivated this experience where it all felt like we were in a play. Like everyone in those mess hall scenes, which are so intense, you know, when Sofia really finally snaps, which, I mean, I'm literally like getting chills thinking about it. It felt like all of us, maybe there are 80 of us on that set. It felt like all of us were equally invested and everyone had their own character. Every background artist like had their own arc in a way, and it really helped because it felt like I was it felt like I was like thrown into hell basically. And you know, that scene where I finally do snap and sort of go over to the dark side, while you may understand it, you know, that was a very intense scene to film, but also like I really relished it because I always wanted to be a villain. And it's like an actor's dream to get to do that many, you know, that episode takes you on such a long journey and you see her through so many different stages. But it felt like, sure, yes, those scenes were intense, but they were a joy, you know? Wow. I sort of think at that point, she's on such a tear that she's like, she's gone. Like she's clicked over into something else. And there's a weird, I think, like freedom and peace there, even though, again, like what she does is wild. It's very intense. But I don't know if there's any one person in particular, definitely Oz, as the season goes on, you know, especially because they're so kindred in a way as well. They weirdly are cut from the same cloth, even though their backgrounds are so different. There is like some sort of, yeah, just kindredness there. So he definitely becomes like her main target. But I think like within her family, it's just all of them. Yeah, and that was like, I was in heaven. And that's also a testament to our brilliant wardrobe designer, Helen Huang, who's just like, she's outrageous. But her and I felt very, very kindred. And I know I keep using that word, but we were so on the same page of like, how does this woman who does come from all this wealth use her clothes to, you know, the freer and freer she gets, to the clothes get more and more wild, and her hair too. Brian, our hair department head, him and I were like so in cahoots the whole time. Like, you know, it was fabulous. Also, that's like part of the fun of being a villain. Whoopsies.